What's good, Swishes Hits and Kicks, people? We here, episode 13. Unlucky 13. Nah. With us, it's a lucky 13. Because we talking about some big things that happened in sports, man, since the last episode. I am recording on a Wednesday, April 17th. Hoping to get this out on a Friday, possibly Saturday. You know how it goes. Life happens, life hits, and guess what? Here, we hit, swish, and kick, baby. So should we jump right in? I think we should get right in. By the way, look at my hair. Ooh, GQ smooth now. Right. I tell my wife all the time, girl, you welcome. Damn, you got you someone looking good. Shoot, I got a couple white whiskers in there, but I feel like it gives me some, it gives me something, right? It gives me something right there. Like, oh man, he's either grizzled, he's been through it, he knows a lot, he's seasoned, not unseasoned, but he's seasoned. Like old boy from Nutty Professor, little kid. Yeah, I'm seasoned good. But yeah, man, good things been going on in sports. My goodness, I have to stop off top with them good vibes. Yes, because we are hitting good vibes right now. Man, Saturday was insane. Okay, I was talking to you guys about it. UFC 300. Man, like, I don't know if I can say like the greatest card of all time. I don't know. It was pretty damn good. And let's just start from the bottom. From the top to the bottom to top, I stopped. Shout out to Lincoln Park. But let's start at the bottom. Let's start with the opener at 3 p.m. Man, my wife was like, dang, you really going to watch these fights from 3 p.m. to like 10:30 or plus at night? Yes, I am. First fight was Davison Figueiredo. Cody Garbrandt. I knew Figgy would probably win. I like no love, though, right? We show him love here. Cody got choked out. Figueiredo won. Second round submission. Cody looked good in the first round. Cody, I thought, won most of the first round. Then we had Jim Miller, Bobby Green. You could have gave the first to Jim, but my goodness, Bobby Green, I'm going to use the word, he thrashed him severely in the third round. And he got the win. We saw Rodriguez and Andrade. I did pick, I believe, Rodriguez because, I don't know, I feel like Andrade, even though like Rodriguez was older, Andrade just fought so many times. She's had like 38 fights already. So Andrade won a split decision. That fight was kind of to be completely honest with you. Moicano and Jalen Turner. Man, Jalen Turner, bro thought he hit that like one hitter quitter knockout and just let go, and the ref's like, nope, it ain't done. Then the next round he got TKO'd. Moicano then cut a money promo. I called it a promo. Shout out to wrestling again. But I called it a money promo after the fight. It was fun. Hopefully he'll be on Rogan. We'll see. I called Diego Lopez stopping Yusuf. Diego Lopez is a star, man. They need to really push that guy to the moon quick. Speaking of stars, we saw Kayla Harrison and Holly Holm. I told y'all, man, I was really hoping Holly would win. I think because the Ronda knockout, there's always like that, oh man, can Holly do it? But I did say Kayla was the favorite. We didn't know how the weight cut would look, and I didn't see no effect. Kayla Harrison looked dominant from start to finish. I would just give her the next title shot. She has the makings of being the next female star for the UFC. There really isn't one right now where there's no Joanna anymore. She's not fighting. Amanda Nunes retired. There's obviously no Ronda Rousey. Miesha Tate, who knows, right? She hasn't looked like the Miesha Tate old in a long time. Rose Namajunas we thought was going to be it, but I don't know anymore. Kayla Harrison, though, man, she gets the job done. If I was them, I'd just give her a title shot. Have her call out Amanda Nunes or bring her out of retirement. That's a money fight for me. Aljamain Sterling dominated Calvin Kattar. It was boring. What it showed me is, man, Calvin Kattar, dude, like, you've kind of lost a lot of like luster. Like, I think you were considered a big contender. He's still probably good, depends on styles, but Aljo, yeah, it was okay, it was boring. But he dominated him. Like, he went in and did work in a new division. I think Aljo's like a fight or two away from a title shot, truthfully. We had Rakic and Yuri. Man, that first round, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, dang, Yuri, you're just eating shots, man. And then Yuri turned it on the second, knocked him out. He wants a title shot. I just don't know if it's gonna happen right away since he got TKO by Alex last time. And then we went into the main event, or excuse me, the main card. Sick in the spring? Weird. We had Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage. Bo Nickel won second round. He was never in trouble, but he wasn't as dominant as I think they hoped. I would probably still take the slow train with Cody. Or excuse me, Bo Nickel. He's only 6-0. I would probably give him a little bit tougher competition. And then maybe a top 15 guy after. Like, he's really good. I just don't know if he's, like, going to win the title his next fight. He's really good, though. Who knows? To be honest, like, maybe throw him a top 15 guy, like number 15. See what happens. See how it goes. You know? Armin Sarukian and Charles Oliveira. Oh, you got that close up. That was a fun fight. A split decision. I was hoping Oliveira won. I think Armin didn't do much. Personally, like, I don't think he deserves a title shot from that. They were saying the UFC offered him a title shot after the fight, and he turned it down because it was too close. I believe they were offering him the June 1st. They ended up giving it to Poirier, so now we'll have Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier, which is going to be a great fight. Then we had Zhang Wei Li versus Yan. I'm terrible with the last name. Is it Xiaonan, I think? That was a long fight. I think, like, Wei Li, like, choked her out, it felt like, at the end of the second. And I don't know how, like, they just didn't stop it. Then Yan came back, and I was starting to root for Yan, especially seeing, like, she was fought out of Team Alpha Male locally, kind of Sacramento, not far away. Especially, I was like, oh, this will be a crazy upset, but it didn't happen. Then, well, this wasn't the co-main, but to me, like, good lord, this is probably the greatest part on the whole show. So we had the BMF title fight. It was Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. I called that Max was going to beat him. I said Max was going to beat him. I might not have been the most 100% confident, but I felt Max was going to win. And to be honest, Max dominated most of that fight. Easily, at least 4. You could say he won. I hear people out there saying he won 5 rounds. For sure won 4 rounds. But that knockout, calling him to the center, which Max does all the time, and putting Justin Gaethje to sleep, like, only, I believe, like, the third person to stop Justin Gaethje. Poirier stopped him. Eddie Alvarez. Shout out to Eddie Alvarez, Underground King. Amazing fighter. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. But man, Holloway did it. Holloway put him to sleep. Like, that was probably the greatest knockout of all time. I know, like, maybe it's recency bias, but it felt like it was the greatest knockout of all time. Definitely got to put a GIF in here. Definitely got to put it in there. Then we had our main event. We had Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill, and you know, it was weird because by the time we got to that main event, it felt like the crowd was kind of like, ugh. Like, man, that Max Holloway fight, gosh, it took people out of, like, all their energy, and we got here, and thankfully, Alex did what I thought he was going to do, and what a lot of people thought he was going to do. And he did it in, like, spectacular fashion, like, from the possible nut shot to telling Herb Dean, the ref, oh no, I got this. Then literally, like, the next second or two, like, dropped him, cracked him with that left, and then put him out. And as he's going down with that left, you can see his eyes starting to close, like, he's done. And that was crazy. Man, UFC 300 was great. And like I said earlier, we got Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier on June 1st. We got Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa. That's going to be a 5-round co-main event for that. And then this was, like, kind of the lamest, like, announcement of all time. I think it's because they've already put so much money into it. All right, but the little paper slip to read them off, and oh yeah, June 29th, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler 170, and the people in the press conference cheered Dana, but I was kind of like, oh bro, like, back in the day they used to do cool hype videos, but I don't really blame Dana. And then thinking about it, like, dude, they've been trying to put this fight together since before, obviously, The Ultimate Fighter. Right? And normally, like, those coaches are going to fight. And it's just been taking so long. I can't wait for it. Any Conor McGregor fight's, like, fun. Like, honestly, I don't know if he's going to win. Michael Chandler's a bad dude. But Chandler hasn't fought in a long time either, so I can't wait. Literally, truth be told, like UFC is gonna be kind of lame until June. Like this upcoming fight nights will be whatever. I'll cover some of them. Maybe I don't be honest. Maybe the pay per view was terrible in Brazil. Like they got to put Alex on that card. They have to put Alex on that card, or else that's gonna be a 100% Debbie Downer. Like that's gonna be the lamest card ever. Like so, we'll see. Let's see. What should we talk about next? Oh, NBA playoffs. The playoffs are here. As I'm recording this last night, we figured out in the Western Conference, basically a little bit. Like we figured out the number 7 seed. The Lakers beat the Pelicans. And I 100% give a lot of credit to that for Zion going out. Zion had like 40 points. And then he had to leave in the third quarter because he got hurt. And then, the Lakers were able to close it out. My Kings, man. Biggest win, I feel like, in Golden One history. Like, we beat the Warriors and eliminated them from the play-in. Last year, they beat us in Game 7 there. It was just a big deal. It was a huge deal for us. And now we play the Pelicans on Friday. Hoping we get that dub. I believe tonight's the Sixers and the Heat and the Bulls and the Hawks. I don't know. I think the Sixers and the Bulls the Sixers and the Heat are gonna go either way, but we'll see. It's gonna be a fun time. The Lakers now have to play the Nuggets. Interesting. It's gonna be a real interesting game. I honestly I hope the Lakers win. I hope the Lakers beat the Nuggets. I don't think we need to get Jokic out of there early. Get him out of there early and then figure out what we're gonna do. That's all the good vibes I got. My goodness, I gave you 10 minutes worth of it, but we got to move into some Debbie Downers. And the first one I want to start with is some news that came out today about Jontay Porter from the Toronto Raptors. Has been banned for life from the NBA for violating league gambling rules. And, they have some really good evidence, I think, like, supposedly disclosing confidential information to sports bettors, limiting his own participation in one or more games for betting purposes, and betting on NBA games. That's the part I want to stick to. It's betting on NBA games. I find it interesting that, like, if you're a basketball player, you're not allowed to bet. I guess you're not allowed to bet on games in general. And it's interesting because every team in the league has a sponsorship with a gambling, betting site. So if we don't want gambling and betting within sports between players, then we need to, not go for these. I don't understand. I feel like it's I don't want to say it's a double standard, but, we don't really practice what we preach. So we're wanting people to go to these sites and bet. But if you're an active player and you bet, and I can bet, let's say I'm LeBron James and I'm betting on that Warriors-Kings game. He's in trouble, but he's not actively participating. I mean, I don't know. He knows confidential information. To me, that's not good. That's not okay. I think they should be able to bet on games that don't involve them. Throw your stones at me now. I just do. I agree that, if one of our main sponsors is FanDuel or DraftKings, right, or 360 Bet or better, right, which, by the way, Swishes Hits and Kicks would love to be sponsored by any of these. Holla at your boy all day. But even these athletes, they're human beings too. Maybe they want to do betting. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a stupid rule, so that's why it's on the Debbie Downer of the week, man. And the next one I really wanted to get into was Quiet on the Set interviews. And I know this isn't a sports topic, but we've talked about this documentary in the past. Quiet on the Set interviews. The very last episode on Quiet on the Set, I kind of had an after the documentary aired, brought some people back, and the reason I'm not downer on any of the people that got interviewed. I'm a little downer on and this isn't him. Every time now it's weird. I see Drake Bell and I feel for him, man, because I was a big fan of Drake and Josh as a young teen adolescent, right? And when he went on there and they basically were there's some people that were out there and they played some audio from Boy Meets Pod with Will Friedle and Ryder Strong, Eric Matthews, Sean Hunter, who huge fans of that show, Boy Meets World. And they were like, we didn't know what the guy did, Brian Peck, and all of this stuff. And man, if we knew what he did, we would never be there, blah, blah, blah. I understand that a little bit. But Drake Bell said it best. No one's reached out to him. They haven't reached out to him, said sorry. Drake said something about a show, a Spider-Man show, whatever, where, like, he met Will Friedle. Will Friedle act like nothing happened, which is, a weird topic, but, like, does it change how he feels? And he said no. And I'm like, yeah, good job, bro. Like, that wouldn't change how I feel, especially, like, even after knowing all this stuff, you still don't really feel sympathy enough to reach out to me? Like, no, bro. Like, we ain't cool. Sorry, we're not cool. Like, I don't really care what happens to you. And, to be honest, like, it makes me think of them a little different. Like, they're not really genuine people. Like they feel for him, but they don't feel for him enough to, like, reach out. I don't know. I guess I can come across sometimes maybe as a cold dude, even though I'm really, like, a caring person. Like, if you know me, people that know me, I really do. But, like, if I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. And if I don't mess with you, it's usually because something possible you did. Right? But I just thought that was interesting to me. That's why I put on the Debbie Downers. I was like, man, these people that I was, like, looked up to, loved their shows, man, they just weren't into it. They didn't reach out to them. I kind of was like, oh, damn, that's their character a little bit. I don't know about that. And then the last one, I put it on Debbie Downers. I'm not sure if it's really a Debbie Downer, to be honest with you. I feel like it's just something to talk about, like a discussion to be had, and that's about WNBA pay. And I'm bringing it up because the other night they had the WNBA Draft. Of course, Caitlin Clark was first, but, like, what blew everyone's mind is the pay discrepancy between WNBA players and NBA players. And there was kind of outrage about it because, the rookies, most rookies in every sport earn a certain wage no matter what, like a certain salary. And WNBA salary is pretty low comparatively to other major sports leagues. And this is just draft picks 1 through 4. They earn an automatic salary for their first year of $76,535. Over the first 4 years, Caitlin Clark's going to get $338,056. Whereas everyone was like, dang, Victor Wembanyama, in the NBA, I believe in his first season is going to make $12.1 million. And I bring this up because, like, I understand, like, everyone's tripping on the pay gap, and I think because of her is why the pay gap's being brought up, because she's a big star right now. And I believe it. She's like the Jordan. I'm telling y'all, she's like, I feel like going to be like the Jordan for women's basketball. And, she makes more money doing other things with Nike, getting offers like Big 3 with all that stuff. But where I believe she is going to make the most changes in the pay gap. And I'm not saying that they should get paid like the men. Truth be told, they don't have the data and the finances to match earning the same salary. This is from 2023. And I got an article that talks about basically, like, the discrepancies between the WNBA and the NBA. So the NBA in 2022 season pulled in a revenue of $10 billion. That same season, the WNBA pulled in a revenue of $60 million. Supposedly around $60 million. The highest paid player at the time in that league was $48 million from Steph Curry. The highest paid player in WNBA at the time was Jewel Lloyd, $228,000. Average viewership. So the highest, let's go to TV ratings. The highest rated game was about 12.4 million. The highest rated game peaked at 1.1 million for WNBA. Average attendance was a little over 17,000 for the NBA. Average attendance was a little under 6,000. Ticket prices for NBA is normally starting like $94. WNBA $47. Okay. Like, so, and the way they split their money is also different. The NBA is a 50-50 league. 50% goes to the league, 50% goes to the players. The WNBA is estimated to be between 80-20 split in favor of the league. So they don't get that much of a split anyways. That's where they need to look at things more than anything, is that they need to figure out how they're going to split their money. Also, the NBA TV rights is literally almost like now I believe it's around billions of dollars they're getting in TV revenue. You know, only behind like the NFL and NCAA. Okay, WNBA doesn't have that, and I think that's where like they really need to start jumping in those kind of things. The WNBA, and that's I didn't put it. This isn't really a Debbie Downer. This to me is like, you know, eye opening. Like we need to get the WNBA to have somewhat of a 50-50 split like the NBA in the league, and then they need to start trying to get more revenue. And I believe Caitlin Clark's going to push this. I think she's going to get it. There's going to be Indiana Fever games, which is where she was drafted, for sure on TV. Probably against the team Angel Reese's. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm seeing happening. This isn't a Debbie Downer. It's just something I thought should be talked about because it's interesting to me. Should the women be paid more? 100%. They should be paid more. As much as the men? Not yet. And my closing thoughts. So much. No, some closing thoughts. Within the next week or two, I want to put out my first just review of an ESPN 30 for 30. I picked the the ESPN film I want to review, talk about, do a little video about it, and that's 30 for 30 on the Bad Boys, the Detroit Pistons. I feel like they're in an era which is really interesting. They're in between that Magic Bird era and somewhat a part of it, but also between the start of Michael Jordan's real ascent. And I want to watch that first because I'm like, you know what, this is super interesting time in basketball and society. So I'm really going to cover that one first. Look out for that. Lastly, I always bring up TV shows because there's always something fun to watch. I've been told a lot lately, man, you should give Game of Thrones a try. I think me and my wife are going to try to give the Game of Thrones a try. Next episode, I'll let you know if we did and what we think so far. And that's it. That is episode 13. Lucky 13, baby. Let's see. Should we get into social medias? Let's get into social medias. Let's start with TikTok. You don't stop, baby. Let's go. TikTok. Follow me there. Watch what I put up. Trying my best. It's tough sometimes, but I can do it. So follow that TikTok. Let's go to Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. Like my reels, like my posts, stories, all that stuff. I put up a lot of content, I feel like, on Instagram. So go follow that and interact. And lastly is YouTube. I've been putting up a ton of YouTube shorts, getting decent, audience there. Go ahead and follow me on YouTube. Subscribe, please. And I'm available on all podcasting platforms: Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. To be honest, those are the only two I really know. I think, is iHeart still a thing? Google Podcasts supposed to be gone. Amazon maybe. Just go follow me, man. I'm Swishes Hits and Kicks. We with it. We in the bag. We got it like that. It's grocery bags. Shout out Marcus. We got it. Yeah.